Welcome to the Drop the Mic podcast from the OG Black Juice. Definitely. Podcast number 3, episode number 3. I like to think that the third time is the charm. So I'm definitely blessed to have you all here. Blessed to have my family with me. Anytime my family's with me, it's always a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, in this podcast right here, we're going to be grown folks having grown conversations, coming up with grown folks salute. We go back and forth. And like I said, we're grown folks. We're having grown conversations. A lot of people in the comments came at me and they were like, it's the way that you're talking and certain things. And you got to understand, it's my personality. I'm not about to do nothing. This is my platform. So on my platform, I do whatever I feel is deemed toward me trying to get my point across. And every now and again, the vocab might get a little bit deeper, whatever the case may be, and I got a couple of Christians and things that listen to my podcast or have been listening to my podcast. So like I said, I'm not going to make no apologies, but I'm going to say that I tone it down when it comes down to certain matters. And tonight's matter is definitely a matter that I feel like is a matter that I just definitely want to just have a conversation with you all as adults. You know what I'm saying? To kind of get this here out and, build on it. You know what I'm saying? But when you're in the club and that drop that ass come on, you be dropping that ass. You understand what I'm saying? But you're Christians. But I'm all right with that, though. You know what I'm saying? But just respect the way that I operate. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going, like I said, I'm not going to plant no negative seeds in this earth because I'm not looking for negative seeds to grow. So anything that I talk about is going to always be a positiveness. It's going to always have an underlying something to help us to grow and to be better people. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice topic I would like to talk about is mental health. You know what I'm saying? Mental health and mental awareness. A lot of people in my life have died from mental health and not being aware of the fact that they were dealing with some things. I had a real good friend of mine, Cornelius, Sweet Pea, God bless the dead. And we had got older. I've been knowing him since he was a little boy, and he had got older. He was from the hood, and I'm OG in the hood, so he was like one of my little homies. And he had went to the military, and he had a fiance, and I don't know if she was messing over him or whatever the case may be, but he came to me one day, and he was like, Benny, me, you, and Keisha need to get together, and with my girl, and we could have dinner and things like that. And I was like, yeah, but I was kind of on my way to work, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm going to chop it up with you. I'm going to pass back around, I'm going to spin a block on you and holler back at you. And then when I came home, Keisha told me he had killed himself. What would possess a person to go through so much trauma they would want to kill themselves just to take themselves out of life? That's why we want to dive off into this situation, to dive off into this thing and find out what are the triggers. You know what I'm saying? How do you know that you're dealing with mental health or mental illness? You know what I'm saying? And what do we need to do to combat that? Because, us as men, black men, white men, because I have white men and I have Hispanic people that's also part of my family. So I say us as men, sometimes we're taught to suppress our feelings. You know what I'm saying? Not to be so vocal, or even like if we have emotions, not to show our emotions. You know what I'm saying? And this is a hard world to have to live in and not be able to be the people that we are. You know what I'm saying? And not be looked at as weak or having a weakness. You know what I'm saying? So we suppress these feelings and things of that nature. And like I said, what would possess a man like Robin Williams or a man like Kurt Cobain, people that have money? You know what I'm saying? What would possess them to want to take their lives? You know what I'm saying? What is happening in your head to make you want to take your lives? And I went through a couple of things that I do my research, fellas. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I do my research. And definitely if I'm talking to you about something, it's something that I've done research on. You know what I'm saying? And mental health and mental illness is something that I deal with. Today, I plan on being real transparent with you all. You understand? Letting you know how I feel, the things that I've been through, and the way they've affected me, and me not being able to have successful relationships because of mental illness, not being able to hold jobs, not necessarily not hold jobs because I have a career, but not being able to progress as much as I can in my jobs because of mental illness. You know what I'm saying? Not having sustainable friendships or even business friendships, you know what I'm saying? Because of mental illness, you know what I'm saying? And I suffer from it, and I'm pretty sure that we all have some issues that we deal with, you know what I'm saying? I think about this here, right? When I was younger, I had the thought of wanting to one day hurt myself. I was, you have to understand, back when I was coming up, it wasn't cool to be as black as I am. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the it thing. You know what I'm saying? I was always that black ass Benny or that black ass Black or that black ass this, that, and another. So I had a hang up, you know what I'm saying, about my color and things of that nature. And I remember I was in junior high school. And I was always a cool cat, you know what I'm saying? I always got along with everybody, but I was in junior high school one day, and I was going through so much at the house that I just couldn't deal with it. And I wanted to check out one day. And I attempted to check out one day. I actually took pills, 14 years old, taking pills, thinking that, I don't want to live no more. At 14 years old, I don't even think I was capable enough to decide whether or not I wanted to live no more, but I chose to take these pills. And I remember waking up, and I remember saying my name was Sir Francis Drake or something, and falling down the stairs, living on Alexandria, and falling down the stairs, this, that, and another. And my mama, panicking and calling the police. And when the ambulance came, the woman was like, "Is he on drugs?" My mom was like, "He don't take no drugs." Whoop, 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 whoop. But like I said, I was part of the mental illness, because you got to understand, I have had a lot of trauma. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in the Callio Project, you grow up and you become grown real fast. You know what I'm saying? And that's where, a lot of the things and a lot of the ways that I think was shaped in the project, in the Callio and the St. Thomas, because my grandma was OG in the St. Thomas on Josephine and Rousseau. So I ran through the projects from the old side to the new side, from the Callio to the front town to the back of town. And I ran through those projects, and I seen a lot. And like I said, it formed and it made me to the person that I am. And it made me have the hangups that I have. Like with women, it's kind of hard for me. I have trust issues. You dig what I'm saying? And I don't know where that, I know where that stems from, because like I've seen a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? I was on the backside of a lot of the women that I was in, relationships with, or not even relationships and situationships, and they had men, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of warped my mind into thinking that every woman, may have a creep in them, or may have a situation, or a little boo, or a little side, this, that, and another. So like I said, it formulated a lot of my thinking in my younger years, you know what I'm saying? I mean, mental health is definitely something that black folks definitely, because like I said, I have a lot of people, but black folks, we fear from, we slide away from, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to talk to psychiatrists, because how can they help me when they don't even know me? But at the end of the day, sometimes you need to give those burdens to somebody else. And even like Jesus said, sometimes you have to put your burdens at his feet, and he'll make, your load lighter. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just have to give those burdens to somebody else that's trained, and they can come to you and tell you, "Wait, let's try this exercise, let's try that exercise." Because our minds, sometimes we don't even understand how our minds work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, when you come into contact with something that triggers you, you're triggered. You dig what I'm saying? And what would possess a mama? Because I mean, I've like I said, I did my research, and I found out that a lot of women go through a sort of depression when they after they have children. But what would possess a woman that has a baby, carry her around for 9 months, and when he comes out, doesn't want to deal with him, or pushes him away, or goes through a form of depression? What would make that happen? And what possesses that to happen? And these are things that I want to dive off into. These are things that I want to learn about, or I want us to learn about, so that we can avoid them, or we can find ways to combat them. You dig what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we want to have successful lives. In order to have successful lives, we have to have successful relationships. In order to have successful relationships, we need to know why our brain is wired the way it's wired, and what can we do to unwire it, to retrain it, to come up with some good habits, not some bad habits. Because trust me, I know a lot about bad habits. You know what I'm saying? So I try now to produce myself with some good habits. You dig what I'm saying? So like I said, I want us to build this thing up. You know what I'm saying? And when we walk away, the reason why everybody asks me why I call it drop the mic. I call it drop the mic because once we deal with it, and once we dive into it, and once we come up with a solution, that's it, that's all. And we live our lives through it. The reason why I had an issue with religion, and you have to understand, I was a preacher. I was a pastor. Not a pastor, but I was a minister when I was locked up. And the reason why I have issues with religion, because a lot of churches that I went to, They couldn't tell me how to take that word that they're given to me and apply it to my life. You dig what I'm saying? And nowadays, everything that I do, I feel like I want to be able to apply it to my life, and I want to be able to explain it to where you can apply it to your life. You dig what I'm saying? Like I said, I was a minister at one time, and I had issue about, my purpose, not knowing what my purpose was in this world. You know what I'm saying? What am I here to do? You know what I'm saying? And I had a minister, a real good minister. I can't think his name. Well, I was actually under a guy named Ivy Hilliard in Houston, and the Bishop Ivy Hilliard. And he had Ames ministers, and there was one Ames minister, Mr. Foster. And Mr. Foster was a real heavy-set man, but he was a real anointed man. And I asked him one day, I said, how can I know what my purpose is? How can I know what I'm doing as far as what I need to be doing? And he said, when God gives you a situation, you do the next right thing. You continue to do the next right thing. It's going to be a wrong thing and a right thing. If you continue to do the next right thing, eventually you're going to pivot to your purpose, and eventually you're going to turn to your purpose, and eventually you're going to take a step in your purpose, and eventually you'll start walking into your purpose. Just do the next right thing. So when I say that everything that I try to do, these seeds that I try to plant inside of us, I'm planted in you as I'm planted in me. Like I said, I want it to be organic, and organic means it has no additives, no nothing. We're going to just go from the earth, from the seed to the earth to the growth. You understand? And that's where we at with it. And that's what I want to do with it. And like I said, there's certain leaves that come up when you're dealing with mental illness that you can see. And one of the leaves that I've noticed that came up in my life dealing with my mental illness, because I go to psychiatrists now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to say it. I'm okay with saying that right now. I go to psychiatrists now. And the one thing that I'm dealing with myself is self-sabotage. You know what I'm saying? Because I was real, real good at sabotaging my situations. I could have the best woman in the world. I mean, she could cook, clean, suck, fuck, everything that I needed her to do. You dig what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I would always find a way to self-sabotage. I would sabotage that. Relationships, you know what I'm saying? If there were work relationships, let's say I'm at a job and I'm excelling on the job, and they're giving me all the attaboys, and they're giving me high praises, and I live there and I go out one particular day and I decide I want to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And my good time leads to another good time, which leads to another good time. That's self-sabotaging. Now all of a sudden I'm not doing the things that I was doing before. I'm doing something different. And the reason why I found out that I self-sabotage is because I feel like I'm not deserving of certain things. Deep down in my mind, I want these things, but at the end of the day, I feel like I'm not deserving of certain things. So I find a way to fuck it up. I'm always find a way to fuck it up. And I had to realize that this was a pattern that I had going on. You know what I'm saying? And maybe, like I said, it stems from a youth, because like I told you on the first video when I spoke about the young boy, I said he was in his developmental stage. In our developmental stage, we tend to develop ourselves to things that we take along with us for the rest of our lives. Now, knowing that it's detrimental to us being good people in society, or detrimental to us being good fathers, good sons, good brothers, so on and so forth, good sisters, good mothers, so on and so forth. Self-sabotaging is definitely something that I found myself doing a lot in this life. You know what I'm saying? Up until this stage. And it took for me to sit down and talk to somebody, and for them to explain to me how I was actually doing this thing and why was I doing it. Because I didn't know. I was wired that way. You understand what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I had to find out this is the reason why you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because of back in the days, whatever you went through or whatever traumas that you went through, you felt like you wasn't deserving of a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the flesh that we dwell in desires nothing good. And that's a biblical phrase that definitely applies. Desires nothing good. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, self-sabotaging is one of the trees that comes off of one of the leaves that come off that tree of mental illness. Another leaf that comes off that tree of mental illness is survivor's remorse. See, I suffer with survivor's remorse. because I survived and a bunch of my partners didn't survive, or a bunch of people in my life didn't survive. And for that particular reason, you know what I'm saying, I deal with that, like, why me? Why I can't, why should it be me? You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you a story, right? And I mean, it's going to be a little lengthy, but you got to know. Because like I said, I'm being transparent with you all. Because if there's anything inside of here that can help you to grow to be a better person, then let it be. I was 17 years old, right? I was a hell of a basketball player, My son, little Benny, Jeremy, even Byron, all my sons were hell of a basketball players because I kept them out there on the basketball court with me, because I was living vicariously through them. But I was a hell of a basketball player. I took care of my business when it came on that court. Comiskey Park, Shakespeare Park, Magazine, anywhere you brought me to, I'll handle my business. Parkside and the 7th Ward, anywhere you brought me to, I'm handling my business. The St. Bernard Gym, anywhere you brought me to, I handle my business. So, me and my little sister, we were staying in the couch, and then my mom's we had some neighbors, Miss Eve and Mr. Roy. And Miss Eve and Mr. Roy were two white people, and they were real clean cut. I mean, college-going students. They both went to Tulane University, and they took a liking to me and my sister. And when they moved to Durham, North Carolina. So they sent for me and my sister to come to Durham, North Carolina. And so we went down there, and we were exposed to a lot more than we were being exposed to. We went to the Durham Fine Arts Museum. We ate gazpacho. I went to different plays, and also did Dean Smith's basketball camp, because she was a professor at the University of North Carolina in Chapel Hill, and he was a researcher at Duke University. So, those are powerhouses when it comes down to basketball, and I was a basketball player. So I went to Dean Smith's basketball camp. Michael Jordan played under Dean Smith, and came home that year, and I was walking past Jesuit. Jesuit was right down the street, and they had some guys who were playing basketball up in there, so I stepped up in there. I was like, can I play? And the coach was the coach at John Eric, and he was like, nah, this is an invitational team only. And I was like, okay, and I turned around and walked. He said, man, matter of fact, come on, practice. And I practiced, and I was blocking everything. I was pinning everything. You know what I'm saying? Defense was immaculate. And I became New Orleans Spartans AAU team. Randy Livingston, I know we played for the same team, New Orleans Spartans back then. Went to high school that year. It was my junior year. And I went to high school, and they had a coach, and this coach was like really, really up on me when I went to trials. And he was like, I want to build my team around you. Now, granted, I have another partner of mine that, like I said, it's not all over the place. If you just follow the line, you understand what I'm saying. I had a partner of mine, Norman Honore. That's Don Wine. That's my brother, a brother from another mother, even though his mother is my mother. And he had went to the Navy. So he had sent a recruiter to me, and the recruiter took me to Poland, and I took the ASVAB test, and I scored a 78, which was real, real high. And the man was like, God damn, you scored a hell of a, you can get anything you want to be. And I was like, I want to be in something in medicine. And he was like, well, we don't have anything in medicine right now, but you can be a DT, which is called the dental tech, okay? So I became a dental tech. I was about to go to the military to be a dental tech. And I had to score 28 on the ACT in order to get in University of North Carolina, because the lady, Miss Eve, was going to give me a letter of recommendation to get in. And I had this girl, Angel. Angel was real, real smart. And Angel was, I went to her house one day to help practice for this ACT test. Now, grant you, the backdrop of the story, my auntie had moved in with us because she had had issues with her husband. And her husband was real abusive. And, used to beat all the time and this, that, and another. So she moved in the house with us. And I asked her, I said, Auntie T, could you bring me to Holly Grove so that I could study for the ACT test with Angel? She's like, okay. And I got in the car with her, and she had a friend, another male friend, and he was driving. And we went on Pritchard Mistletoe. And we drove past the house. And I looked back and I was like, you passed the house up. And when I said that, all I could hear was gunshots ringing in the car. Fow, 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 fow. Glass everywhere, shattering everywhere. And I got down, I got low. She had a two-door cutlass, I'll never forget, a white two-door cutlass, and I got low. And when I got low, the car started running, and you could hear it revving. And then after a while, it started going real, real slow. And I didn't want to push up the seat because I knew my auntie was in the front seat, and I really didn't know what was going on. But eventually, the car hit a wall. And when it hit a wall, I jumped out, and I proceeded to run. And when I ran, I got maybe halfway down the block, and I turned around, and I could see Curl, which was her husband, estranged husband, standing over her. And as he was standing over her, you know what I'm saying, it was like he was punching at her, you know what I'm saying. And that's what I assumed he was doing, because it just looked like every time he would go down, she would come up. He would go down, she would come up. And eventually I seen her stop fighting, and I realized that he was stabbing her. And I called his name, and I was like, Curl. And he looked up at me, and he looked down at her, and he picked the gun up, and he got in the car. And I went held my aunt, and she had stab wounds everywhere. Man, I'm talking about bleeding and blood coming out of her mouth and everything. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, everywhere. And she died in my arms, you know. And that was a trauma, because it was no North Carolina, no Dean Smith basketball camp, no basketball team, no dental tech, no Navy, no nothing. And I was empty. And in my life, I've realized that that particular moment, I lost everything that was the development of what I could have been. You know what I'm saying? And out of that stem remorse, survivor's remorse, self-sabotaging, and a whole lot of other things. You never know how much one thing can affect your life so much that it's like impossible for you to even imagine what happened. You know what I'm saying? And you see the traces of the sadness. You see the traces of the illness throughout your life, but you could never understand where it came from. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't want to connect one to the other, but the one connected to the other, and it's the reason why you became the person that you became. And it's the reason why that you think the way that you think, and it's the reason why that you do the things that you do. Lord knows I wanted to be all of those different things, right? But who's to say that if I would have became a dental tech, I would have been sent to Iraq? Because at the time the Iraq war wasn't going on, I could have died right there in the middle of the war field. Or who's to say that I could have went to North Carolina and became a basketball player and broke my ankle, or anything could have happened, and then I wouldn't even be here right now, or got a car accident or anything. What I'm saying is, I realized that whatever I've been through in this life, it was all part of God's design to make me and to become the person that I am right now. It was all part of a design. It was all part of a bigger picture that I couldn't see at the time. You understand what I'm saying? But I know that I went through what I went through for a reason. Somebody once told me the reason why you held that woman in your arms because you was the only one that could handle that. Anybody else couldn't handle that, and you gave her peace because she looked up at Benji. You understand what I'm saying? And she went away, and she passed away in peace. You know what I'm saying? I am not God, and I cannot save everybody. You understand what I'm saying? I had to realize that also in going through therapy, because in my mind, I felt like I could save everybody. You know how many friends of mine, I don't know why I took on this role as a protector, but you know how many friends of mine have died, you know what I'm saying, on my watch, for whatever the reason is, you know what I'm saying, whether it be death in a car accident or whether it be multiple homicides. You dig what I'm saying? But so many people have died. And at the end of the day, I felt like I didn't deserve nothing good. That's that survivor's remorse. And if I did get anything good, I felt like I didn't deserve that. That's that self-sabotaging. We got to check ourselves, family. Because if you're going through depression, it's all right to go through a depression. You understand what I'm saying? It's all right to tell somebody, I'm not feeling like myself. You know what I'm saying? You need to go and find somebody that's trained in, mental health, or that's trained in psychology or psychiatry, and find somebody that can help you to walk yourself through it. You know what I'm saying? Like I told your family, we not here to do no bullshit. We ain't here to play. We not here to, none of that. When I spoke the last pod, I was speaking about my mama, and I was speaking about relationships. The only reason why I was taking the angle that I was taking is because as a single man, or as a married man, or as a whatever kind of man, it's a lot of questions that's not getting asked. It's a lot of things that's not getting said. You dig what I'm saying? That we need to ask and we need to say. You dig what I'm saying? We need to put it on the table. We need to dissect it so that we could become better people. You dig what I'm saying? We don't want to get stuck in our own ways, and then we become our own block. We can't get around our own thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because we're so stuck in putting all these different obstacles in front of us that really don't exist, but we just building them and building them and building them and building them. It's time to let all of that go. It's time to let all of that go, and it's time to become, like I said, the soldiers that God intended for us to be. I'm a God-fearing man, so you may hear me speak about God a lot. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not a God-fearing man, if you believe in Allah, if you believe in your higher power, if you believe in yourself, it doesn't matter as long as we get to the same point. You understand? Somebody once told me it's multiple ways to get to Baton Rouge. You can get on I-10, you can get there on airlines, you can get there on to New Orleans East, take 12, come down Denham Springs, and get to Baton Rouge. It's multiple ways to get to Baton Rouge as long as we all make it to Baton Rouge. Some may get there slower, some may get there faster, some may take this lane, some may take that lane. So when it comes down to that thing about religion and all that, I don't do religion. I do spirituality. You dig what I'm saying? That's why I say whenever I speak to you all, I'm speaking to you all from a spiritual point. You dig what I'm saying? Because that's what I am. I'm a spirit man having an earthly experience. You dig what I'm saying? So I speak from my spirit man when I talk to you all, because you all are my family. You dig what I'm saying? Ain't no sense in me hiding from you all and acting like I'm not who I am. You dig what I'm saying? Because you can't judge me. Because if you judging me, you would have to judge yourself. You dig what I'm saying? So like I say, man, we need to deal with ourselves, man. Because like I say, man, mental illness will have us have us raising our children in the same cesspool that we were raised in. Because we can't get out of it. You know what I'm saying? Let's cut some slates, man. Let's clean some areas, man. Let's go and dive into some things that we need to be diving into so that we could be better people. You dig what I'm saying? Like I said, man, my pod is going to be about, this is my platform. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it 100% real and authentic. You dig what I'm saying? And organic. There won't be no added to it. You dig what I'm saying? And that's why I'm here to talk to you today. Like I said, if you feel any kind of way, not like yourself, before you decide you want to check out, man, check in with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Call somebody. You dig what I'm saying? Get on that phone and let somebody know how you're feeling. Because first of all, the first step that you need to do is accepting that you have a problem. So whatever your problem is, you need to accept that, and then you can deal with it. You dig what I'm saying? And that's where we need to be at with it. You dig what I'm saying? Put it out there. You dig what I'm saying? Let somebody know. Speak to somebody. If you have a pastor, speak to your pastor. If you're not afraid to explore your brain, go find your psychiatrist. If you got Medicaid and Medicare, they pay for it. You dig what I'm saying? Get you some help. Get you some help. You're not alone. You're not alone. Whatever you're going through, you're not alone. Whether it be alcohol, whether it be drugs, whether it be sex, whether it be whatever you're going through, you're not alone. You dig what I'm saying? But you will be alone if you allow yourself to be alone. It's time for us as a family. It's time for us as soldiers to be soldiers. Stand up and be accounted for. You dig what I'm saying? Let's keep it moving. Let's do what we need to do. You dig what I'm saying? I appreciate you being here, man. You dig what I'm saying? You don't have to be here. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're choosing to be here with me, and I appreciate that. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, man, at the end of the day, man, we're going to drop this mic. You dig what I'm saying? After we just say what we need to say, we're going to drop the mic like Dave Chappelle do after he finishes his whole list set. Drop the mic. Turn the TV off. Let's build together. Let's be some adults, having adult conversations, finding adult solutions. You're not alone. You're not alone. Whatever you're going through, you're not alone. It ain't that bad. It ain't that hard. You dig what I'm saying? Give your burdens to the Lord, and He'll make your burdens light. You dig what I'm saying? You'll be able to walk through this thing. And don't be afraid no matter what you're going through. You know, in all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He'll direct your path. In all your ways, meaning in your bad ways and your good ways, just acknowledge Him. Let Him direct your path. And I believe that with all my heart. And I love you all with all my heart, because y'all my family. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all are on my platform, and I'm going to talk it, I'm going to talk it, and I'm going to kick it, I'm going to kick it, and that's how we're going to do it. Drop the mic, turn that TV off. It ain't worth nothing. Holler at all my people, man. Let me tell you something. Black-owned businesses, if you got anything black-owned or anything, not even just black-owned, if you got a business, you know what I'm saying? It don't have to be black-owned, because like I said, man, I got I got Hispanic cats on my line. You know what I'm saying? I got my white brothers on my line. You know what I'm saying? If you got anything and I can promote it, let me promote it. Because I believe that, you know, my riches is going to come from investing in people, not investing in real estate, not investing in stocks and bonds. My riches is going to come from investing in people. You understand me? And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm investing in y'all. Y'all invest in me. Like and share. You understand? Let's like and share. Let's get this thing out here. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to a couple of people that's been very instrumental in helping me get my podcast along. We'll give a shout out to my partner, Tyler Simmons out there in Baton Rouge. Another cat that I work with. You know, I'm a working man, so I come across a lot of working people. So I want to shout out Tyler, definitely holding it down. And I also want to let y'all check out my fit. Got this from Miss Chantel and Mr. Ryan Guy over there at the Freedom Studios, LLC. You know what I'm saying? On General DeGaulle. I promise you, if you go up in there and check these people out, Miss Chantel has an eye for fashion. You understand what I'm saying? When she puts you together, you're going to be top notch. Trust me, ain't nobody going to be able to touch you. And you're going to be not regular. Because me and my family, we don't do regular. Regular is not even in our vocabulary. We do better than regular. And like I said, Miss Chantel will put you together. When you go to the Treehouse, and when you go to the Hide and Seek, and when you go to Empire, won't nobody else have what you got on. And I trust you. Trust me and believe that Miss Chantel is going to put you together, because like I said, she has an eye for fashion. And I appreciate her putting this jogging suit together. I said, I don't want to be the old guy trying to look like the young guy. She was like, nah, I'm going to put you together. So she put the OG Black Juice in a nice little jogging suit. I mean, comment if you like. You know what I'm saying? Put it on. I also like to thank a lot of the people that's been holding me down. Dime at the Max, my partner Gavin Morgan, definitely been holding me down. You know what I'm saying? Definitely sharing for me. Dennis Turnbull, cat that I've been working with for years, definitely been holding it down, sharing with me. And I like to thank you all, my family. Drop the mic. Peace.